Hello everyone, this is Ani of the YouTube channel Anistuffs, and you're listening to Ani's Stuffs, my podcast-ish video series. Now this is episode 2 of Anistuffs, and today I am going to talk about this new book. Not new, I guess this book I recently finished reading. I actually finished reading it last week, and I actually showed this in my Portal to Unboxing video, and I'll basically talk about that book. So the book in question is called Contest, and it is written by the Australian author Matthew Reilly. Now for those of you who don't know, Matthew Reilly is an awesome writer of basically action-packed books. He's like, I guess I compare him like Michael Bay in book form, but his his books are actually very entertaining, and Contest is his first book. And you can actually find out on Wikipedia or online that when he first wrote this book, well, no publisher wanted to print it, so he actually self-published 1,000 copies and sold them across the country, or something like that. Basically, it was like a huge thing. I mean, it's a really nice adventurous story. I think I actually don't know the gory details, but you can guess how awesome that can be. I mean, Australia is a huge place. Like, I can already imagine him, like, his car full of 1,000 books, and he's just going from town to town like an awesome road trip. Man, that would be an awesome movie. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, so it was reprinted much later, and his second book was Ice Station, which was, I think, taken by I don't remember the publisher now. I don't actually remember. Penguin? I don't remember. And anyway, it is something. But yeah, so Contest was his first book. Not his first book that I read, of course. His first book that I read was Temple, which was introduced to me by my Australian cousins. I have 2 cousins living in Australia, and they came for a visit in 2007 and 8, basically at the end of 2007, left in the beginning of 2008. They introduced me to Matthew Reilly, and I was like, they considered Temple to be one of his slow books, and I was blown away. I mean, it had action like you would not believe. Like, like you would not believe. Like, name a movie that is purely action. There is no non-stop action like those Crank movies. I think those are pretty action as well. It's like 7 of those per chapter. Like, whoa. I was like, who is this guy? What's he writing? It's like reading explosives only in your brain. So it's kinda awesome like that. I can't fully explain how it's like that, but yeah, I was pretty blown away. Next book I read was Ice Station, and after that was 7 Ancient Wonders. I have loved his books. I am a big fan of Matthew Reilly now, and I almost have bought all of his books. He hasn't written that many books, like I think maximum 10, 9, something like that. But I have almost like 6 or 7 of his books. I haven't read all of them, mind you, but I've read quite a few. And this is Contest. Contest was his first book, which I, well, and which I finally got around to reading. And it's awesome. It is like ridiculously awesome. I loved it. It's extremely simple. And I can see that his wording as an author was much more rough, but Contest, basically from the start, you know how the story is going to end. But it's how the book goes along. That's what makes it interesting. Like, at the start of Dark Knight, Batman is going to catch Joker. That's going to happen. But how it happens, how the story goes along, that is where the thing comes in. So that's where Matthew Reilly really excels. Like, I'll tell you what the book is about. Contest is about an intergalactic gladiatorial competition that's held every more or less 1,000 years, and humanity in between 7 intergalactic species. Humans is one of them. They were the last added, and they have been this intergalactic gladiatorial combat is called the Presidian, and humans have been accepted in it for the last 3 times, starting back in 0 BC, something like that, 0 AD, then another in 1000 AD, well, kind of like that, and now in 2000. Well, that's in the game's timeline. And yeah, so, and the rules of the Poseidon is, there's going to be an area of the combat which is called the labyrinth, which is sealed, so you cannot escape the labyrinth. And basically the exit will not open until there is only one survivor. So that's it. It's a kill or be killed competition. So you can pretty much expect how the book's going to turn out at the end. Basically the human's going to win, obviously. You know that's going to happen, but how it happens, that's the most amazing part, because see, the human they got is not a fighter. He has never fought in his entire life. He's a doctor even. He saves lives, not takes them. And he's actually accidentally teleported in the labyrinth along with his little daughter. Whoa! Like, dude, can the stakes get any higher than that? Like, unbelievable, okay? And how the story progresses, basically, from the start, Contest delivers exactly as much as it promises. Thrilling, exciting, non-stop, awesome action. And it delivers. It delivers. If you want a book that just going to blow you away with action, this is it. This is it. You just have to check it out. It's amazingly good. There's actually a summary of it in Wikipedia, but the details do not do it justice. Matthew Reilly, another thing he excels in, he actually gives us in all his books, it's kind of like his signature move, that signature writing style. He will provide a map of the areas the book, where the story goes, and you will be constantly looking at the map at the beginning of the book to the story to kind of navigate where the story is going through. Like, it's pretty amazing. In his 7 Ancient Wonders, he did it. Ice Station, he did it. Temple, nearly all of his books have this style, and I just find it really, really good. Okay, really, really refreshing. I haven't seen this style in any other author. And basically, that's it. He tells us this is the place where the book's gonna take place, and you can pretty much guess from the start how the book's going to end. Well, in Contest you do. In the other ones, not as much, because they get kind of thrillerific. I guess kind of like Ludlum or Dan Brown. You know, he certainly takes inspiration. He's a pretty recent writer, and yeah, and like, whoa, this book is just awesome. The Poseidon actually takes place this time on Earth, and it's in the New York State Library, and he has whole maps of that place as usual. So yeah, and I can actually see it's almost 8 minutes and a half. Damn, I cannot stop rambling in these. Okay, so yeah, that's all I had to talk about. This was an awesome book. You should definitely check it out. At least, if you find it in a library, just read through it, or you just read through it a little bit, because it is awesome. This guy is an awesome writer, Matthew Reilly. Like, no writer can do action as good as him, hands down. And yeah, that's about all I had to talk about. Basically, going all fanboyish over Contest. Yeah, but this was a good book. Yeah, definitely good book. Definitely enjoyable. And this has been Anistuffs, episode 1. And thank you for listening. And this is Ani of the YouTube channel Anistuffs. And till next time, bye.